in human life, there are different seasons, different times in life. There are seasons that involve the stages of life as one ages from young to old. But there are also seasons governed by the time of year. The stages of life, the seasons of the year, create a rhythm in human life. That rhythm dictates if there will be harmony, or if a person is out of sync, out of alignment with the rhythm of their life. In the very younger years of life, a person struggles to know and to grow, to learn, to find their own identity. Then comes the stage of life where expression of one's inner being into the outer world becomes paramount. One is no longer struggling to find one's personal identity, but one struggles to find a way to express one's inner being in the world and find manifestation of one's intent and dharma in life. At this stage, there is often activities which involve establishing oneself in worldly life. And then there is the years of production, of expression, and of effort to accomplish in the world. But a time comes when those accomplishments in the world become less meaningful. And one must reflect upon one's own nature. For some people, this comes earlier in life. For some people, in the later stages. But surely by the later stages of life, if this self-reflection is not there, one will not be able to enjoy the full circle of human life. So there are times, there is a progression over time that occurs in a person's life, a progression from self-absorption of the child to learning about the world, to expressing, and then to returning to inner reflection. And progressing to the deeper stages of one's existence. All things have their time. There are also seasons as the year goes on, and they affect a person's life. In the spring, there is the flowering of life, the desire to awaken and express, explore. In the summer, to be active, dynamic, expressing the power of the sun and of the light. And in the fall, receding, coming back to quietness. And in the winter, there is internal time. In the dark of the year, in all cultures, you will find there is a tendency for people to gather together and to bring the energy of fire and light into the world. Since ancient times, in many, many cultures, most all cultures, there have been rituals about the solstice, particularly the winter solstice. For in this dark internal time, there is the recognition of the bringing forward of light into the world. With Christianity, since this is a celebration of the birth of Christ, it is a celebration of the bringing of light, spiritual light, into the world, spiritual consciousness into the world. At these dark times of years, people tend to gather together to share family, friendship, community, to build fires, and to bring warmth in the cold and the dark, and to celebrate the birth of light, the birth of spirit from the darkness. You will find in different religions there are different holidays to depict this. Different cultures have found different ways to express this. The birth of the light, the birth of the divine consciousness into the world. The opening of the path towards the light. These are celebrated in the dark times. The birth of the one who would bring dynamic love, unconditional love into the world. The birth of that love in everyone's life. Has been a powerful ideation for thousands of years. The Christian holidays are based on holidays that are even more ancient. But the intent has remained the same, to come together to celebrate the birth of light and divine love into the world. To acknowledge that darkness cannot cover the light for long. It cannot obscure the sun of your spirit, your soul. It only covers for a temporary period, and then that inner light shines out, shines forward. There is no lasting darkness, no permanent loss of light. Your spiritual light, your spiritual wisdom, your spiritual home lies within you. And will never go away. The darkness is the film of illusion that covers the mind and creates a belief that you are separate, that you are apart, that you are alone. But the radiant sun of the inner light of the divine self burns away that illusion, that darkness. And the radiant light of being awakens the love that is within you, that is unconditional, omniscient, divine. That is the Christ love. That is the love of the spiritual heart. That is a home of pure light, to be found even in the darkest hour. And sometimes it is in the dark that the light can be seen to be the brightest. For the contrast makes the light visible. When life goes your way, you get busy doing things, meeting obligations, and you forget. You forget. Then there is no motivating force. You're relatively happy, and you move into slumber. You forget. But when life presents a little difficulty, and you feel the pain, the loneliness, the darkness, you are forced to remember, to search for the light. It is the only way out. And then the contrast brings the brightness in the dark. So this is a season, a time to remember the divine light, to allow that light to come from within you and to be in the world. Following this spiritual time is the new year, the time to set your intentions. Let them be generated from this light within you.